Hello and welcome, San Diego City College students. My name is Sasha Knox and I'm the Job Placement Coordinator. Today during this workshop, we're going to go through a 4-step guide to help you network and secure employment through LinkedIn. This message and recording is intended for San Diego City College students and alumni. So today we are going to cover 4 distinct steps in this workshop. Number 1 would be defining your brand. Number 2 is how to optimize your profile. Number 3 will be the direct steps on connecting on LinkedIn. And the final step will be completing an actual job search and how to get your LinkedIn profile best seen by employers. So step 1, defining your brand. As you can see by the image on my screen, Apple kind of needs no introduction. They have done a brilliant job of describing what they do, how they do it, and what their outcomes are. And so when you think of Apple, you think of iPhone, or you think of an iPad, iPod, if you are a couple years older like myself. You'll think of brands like Apple Music. You'll think of all the things that Apple has done to kind of be innovative. Now, when we compare Apple products to something of a Droid or a PC, it's not so much that Apple standalone is providing the market with only their product. It's a buy version of something else that's already done. So when you think of defining your brand, it's really how do you stand ahead of all other competitors that are going for the same position that you may be applying for. You really want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile, that your elevator pitch, and that in your job search, you're very clearly defining what you do, how you do it well, and what your overall goal is to become. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like with a student example. So here we have student Basil, who wants to be a future aerospace engineer. His profile picture is inviting and welcome, opening. He has a space graphic that correlates to what he wants to do long term. He has that he's open to job opportunities. He's also currently an intern and does some student research. So as you can see, just by a quick glance, we know very well what Basil wants to go after. He doesn't state things that he's not, so he tells us that he wants to be a future aerospace engineer, and that's great for your LinkedIn profile. You don't have to be the expert at this level. You do have to let us know what you want to stand for, so that's aerospace engineering, what his desired outcome is, which is to be a future engineer, and what it is that he wants to go for. And we'll look at that more concretely in step 2. So for your personal profile and for profile optimization, just as my image shows, you really want to set yourself up ahead of the pack. You really want to set yourself apart. You do that, number 1, with a profile picture. I don't know how many countless profiles that I've come across that don't have a profile picture. You don't want this to be, and your profile picture for LinkedIn really should be a professional photo, not a selfie, not you out with your friends, not a club photo, not anything more than a shoulders up or a waist and above professional headshot. And this doesn't have to be gone out and done professionally. This really can be done on an iPhone with a friend taking the picture, but you want to concretely be in a blazer and a dress-up shirt in some type of professional manner. Not hanging out, not the duck lips, not the cute pose, but really showing a professional and not filters. We see that a lot as well, but a professional picture. Next, you want to have your headline. I see a lot of times students get confused by putting their headline as their current job title, and that's not quite what you want to do. Instead, as our example showcase, you want to represent what industry that you're going into. So your headline can say future aerospace engineer, student services professional, future career counselor, whatever it is that you really want to represent, then you want to do so in your headline. The industry that you're going to represent. And if you have not done so, I urge you to go out and check out our top 10 industries for San Diego City College students workshop that's on our YouTube page. But you really want to make sure that you're representing a complete industry. So whether that be advanced manufacturing, healthcare, uh, uh, any of the such, right? And so you want to make sure that your profile concretely labels an industry. Next, you want to have a summary. Summaries sometimes catch students up, and you really want 3 to 4 lines detailing why you are truly the expert in your field. You want to showcase the amount of time that you've been working in the industry, your concrete passions, anything that kind of, again, sets you above the rest. And I'll show you an example of that utilizing my own profile. Next, you want to give your employer location. This is really important. Even if you are going to be transitioning into a new location, you do want to list the location of where you want to be or where you currently are. You want to give us some complete accomplishments. And then LinkedIn has a section where individuals can endorse you or give recommendations. When the employer panels came out, employers found out from the California Placement Association, it came out that employers really want to see recommendations from previous employers, supervisors, and colleagues. So those hold the most weight and merit. But you can simply send a message via LinkedIn. They have automatic messages that you can send, having individuals endorse and give recommendations, showcasing your skills. And those skills can be anything from customer service, word processing, and the like. So I've used myself as an example for step 2. Here you'll see a professional photo of myself. You'll see my name. You'll see the industry that I represent, and you'll see that I represent multiple industries, and that is fine as well. So you'll see I'm a student services professional, I'm a professor, I do diversity, equity, and inclusion work. I've also been an event manager, and I deal a lot in community relations. And so you'll see all of those industries represented in my headline. You'll see the location. I'm located in San Diego, California. This is where I choose to reside and don't believe that I'll be moving anytime soon. So my profile represents San Diego, California. You'll see my about section, and this is those 3 to 4 lines that kind of tell you more in depth about yourself. This is when you get to be a lot more informal and yet still professional, but you get the employer to see a little bit more about yourself. So the first 2 lines of mine read that I'm a student affairs professional dedicated to helping students reach their fullest potential through the work of community development, strategic resource development, and cross-departmental collaborations. I also say I'm a hard worker, passionate, with over 10 years of experience in event coordination, outreach, and community development. So in those first 2 lines, you see concretely how I represent those lines in my tagline. So I mentioned the community relations, I mentioned the event management, the diversity, equity, and inclusion work, me being a professor, and the student services professional right there in the first 2 lines. This is really meant to grab the recruiter. This wants to draw the reader in, and I want you to show how much more of me and how I could be a great asset to a company. And this is really what you want to do in your own LinkedIn profile. So, profile optimization also means how exactly do I become seen? So, on your LinkedIn settings, on the right hand of my screen, you can see who can see your posts. But this is kind of an insider trading tip on just what you should be posting, how you should adequately be posting it, and how to get ahead of where you need to be. So you always want to kind of add graphics for visibility. You want to share a document, or you can even write articles on LinkedIn. They're really great about publishing editorials, opinion pieces, self-help guides, steps and tools. So anything that you know about the industry that you're representing, you can gladly write an article, submit it to LinkedIn's team, and 9 times out of 10, they publish that work. You can also get your profile seen and viewed by recruiters by commenting respectfully on other posts. So if you want to be a future teacher and you see an article on best practices for online learning and you write a respectful acknowledgement, you're going to be seen by future recruiters. If you repost an article and list a picture that grabs the reader, again, you're going to be seen. And so all of the algorithms and all of the backhand that happens for LinkedIn has your profile kind of jump to the front of the screen the more active that you are on LinkedIn. So that last line here on my screen just says activity gets attention. So just like any skill set that you have or any tool that you develop, the less that you use it, the less visible that you're going to be. So these are just some quick tips to be able to be seen. And you want to make sure that when you're creating a post, if it's not very sacred and near and dear to you, you do want to make sure that your posts are open to anyone, because LinkedIn is one of those tools that everyone kind of knows everyone and someone is connected, and that 10 individual rule applies. So the more that you're active and in any active posts that are open and available to anyone, more employers will be able to see that. So again, for profile optimization, you want to make sure that you have professional recommendations. And this just ensures that it adds a human touch to your profile. This is individuals, as I mentioned, going out and endorsing your skill set. So this can be prior peers, mentors, colleagues, professors, supervisors, and managers can go in and say, absolutely, she does have a great work ethic. Absolutely, she is a great manager and works well with other individuals. And so they are able to go in and craft their own version of the best you via recommendation. I highly recommend that you use professional recommendations. Again, LinkedIn has kind of an ad lib section in Messenger to where you can send out to your professional network to have them endorse you. It takes about 5 minutes of their time and your time, and it really allows the employer and the recruiter to see some of your best skill sets. Sometimes we don't always represent ourselves the best way. Sometimes it takes another person's eyes to tell us kind of the great work that we do. And professional recommendations really give the opportunity to do that, because they give a perspective from another view of the great work that you do indeed do. So step 3, connecting on LinkedIn. I cannot stress this enough, that 70% of people that are hired within a company aren't done so traditionally through just filling out an application on the job board. It is someone that knows someone, it is someone who has grown up in the company, and it is generally someone who has done an informational interview, networked at a community event, or networking night, and has gotten their face kind of to a name and their foot in the door. And LinkedIn has the absolutely great opportunity for you to do that virtually. And so it takes 2 minutes of your time to send an email and say, hey, I would love to sit down with you for 5 minutes. Can we grab a coffee over Zoom? Can you meet with me just to tell me a little bit more about your industry? Now, this can be done through a friend of a friend. Sometimes I've heard students say, I don't know anyone who works at this organization, but my uncle might. Or sometimes this is just you going to a community mixer, like for example, NSBE, which is the National Society of Black Engineers, have community mixers and networking nights kind of every first Tuesday. So these are great opportunities for you to meet individuals that might be able to connect you. And sometimes they are friends of friends as well. So again, on LinkedIn, this is really a great opportunity for you to go into the search bar, say, I want to work at a certain organizations, so Sparklets, for example, you type in the word Sparklets as an organization and it will tell you, you have 3 connections via Sparklets, and you can click on those connections, or you can see, I may not have any connections here, but here are the recruiters for this organization. Here are the managers for this organization. Here are people that say that they are affiliated. So if affiliated individuals may not work there any longer, but you still may be able to send them an email to get insight about the organization. So what I do not recommend you doing is not using LinkedIn as a networking tool. If you use it like Facebook and kind of another social media platform like Instagram, where you just go in and you like a couple pictures and you go out, you're truly not using LinkedIn to the best of its potential. LinkedIn, again, is an opportunity for you to really put a face to a name and really gain some insider information about an organization. So you want to do that, and the ways that you can do that is by going in and seeing who you already know. So if you link your LinkedIn to other tools like your Gmail account, when you set it up from your phone, or when you link it to something like your Facebook profile, it will tell you, hey, these individuals you may not know, but they're already in your network. These are the who's who. These are the, I may not have a direct connection to this individual, but I may know someone who knows someone. And LinkedIn kind of has an algorithm that does that hard work for you. So you're able to directly invite individuals into LinkedIn, or you're able to plug in your own email account, and from emails that you may have sent, or the algorithm that they have within the LinkedIn website, they're able to suggest connections for you. So as I mentioned before, another great tool of LinkedIn is using it for informational interviews. Informational interviews are, again, an opportunity for you to kind of get a peek under the hood of an organization that you might be looking into, or an industry that you might be interested in. So using the informational interview, using LinkedIn to gather informational interviews, you can search current companies, you're able to search past companies, you're able to search industries, or you're even able to search it via schools. So sometimes my alumni connection may pop up organizations that I know may be great employers for San Diego City College students. And I'm able to gather information from that by using a previous school that I may be affiliated with, or a school that the university that I work for may be affiliated with. And so again, this is just another way for us to garnish more tools in our tool belt and more individuals to connect with using LinkedIn as a networking profile. Other ways is that you can use common languages, and you can also use interests in order to search for individuals to be able to connect with and conduct an informational interview. In using LinkedIn as a recruitment tool, you're able to share your LinkedIn profile, and you're also able to download your profile directly as a PDF to send to employers. And so I just added a quick screenshot showing how you can do that. LinkedIn also has the availability for you to change your URL name. I highly suggest doing that if you're going to use your LinkedIn link on your resume, so that it mirrors your actual full name. And you're also able to download that. And the way that you do that is you will go to your LinkedIn profile account. You'll click on the more, which you see highlighted in red on my screen. The second drop-down menu is that you're able to download your profile as a PDF. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second once you download it as a PDF. But you're also able to gather that link, and you can share it via Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn Messenger, through an email. So again, when you're creating an informational interview or an opportunity to network, you can send an employer some information directly about your work experience on demand. The other thing that I really wanted to mention is that your LinkedIn URL profile should be a professional name. You don't want it to represent anything else that may not be a professional image of yourself. So that is why I suggest having your first name or your last name, your company name if you're a business and entrepreneur student, in an industry that you might be interested in. LinkedIn only allows you to update and edit your link once or twice. So I would suggest having it mirror your name so that you're not locked into a name that you don't want to keep long term. When you download your LinkedIn profile, this is what it looks like. So just as your resume, it's going to have your summary section, it's going to have your contact information, it's going to have your top skills, and will also represent all of the work experience that you have listed on your LinkedIn profile. I do want to mention that your LinkedIn profile should mirror your resume, but your LinkedIn profile does have the ability to showcase much more work experience than a traditional resume may have. So as you've seen by my LinkedIn profile, I represent 4 to 5 different industries versus when I was submitting a resume for a potential job application, I would only have the information tailored and specific to the job that I'm applying to. So for example, if I was applying to be a professor at a different college, none of my community relations information would truly be on my resume and application for as I'm applying to become a professor in the English department. However, that information would still live on my LinkedIn profile because it is a part of my work history. So your LinkedIn really is an opportunity for you to expand your network and showcase your full potential as to an employer versus your resume would give a concrete snapshot of why you're the best candidate for that job only. Step 3, LinkedIn groups. So LinkedIn groups are another way for you to really grow your network through connections and to create a larger network personally and professionally. So LinkedIn groups can range anything for special interests like sewing, knitting, crafts, all the way down to very specific interests like archaeology in San Diego. And so you can join a group. You can create your own if you're a business and entrepreneur student and you are creating a new niche. You could absolutely create a LinkedIn group, create some rules for your group, and make sure to share and keep relevant content. To grow your network, you can invite others to join a group that you have joined or one that you're creating. You can also manage the notifications in your LinkedIn. So if you join a professional networking group or join a group to learn a skill or trade, each time that information regularly updates, you can manage the notifications that get sent to you via email or via the LinkedIn application on your phone to tell you the newest and cutting edge information. And then finally, we get to step 4. So there are a couple different insights that I want to give in terms of what may be coming out for LinkedIn and some best practices. So you can there are multiple things that you can do using LinkedIn for job search. Starting with, you can, on your LinkedIn profile, you can let recruiters know that you're open, willing, and available, and you're looking for a new job. This is done in the settings section when you create your LinkedIn profile. And if your profile is already created, there is a pencil next to your name, and you're able to mark open to recruiters. You're also able to select what direct recruiters you want to reach out to. So you're able to say, I'm looking for a job in any different industry, and let them know that you're open and willing to either relocate, to join a new job, to start part-time work. All of these are open and available via the free search, via the free option of LinkedIn. And so I really wanted to list that out as well, because I've got a lot of questions about whether or not I should join the premium account. What's the difference between LinkedIn and something like Indeed job board? Like, why would I join this, and what advantages does LinkedIn have? Again, LinkedIn is a more professional tool, and recruiters, again, are 70% of them are using LinkedIn to recruit on their own and find the individuals that they feel might be the best fit. So again, using that about section and using the highlight, you're able to display a lot more about yourself as an individual and as a worker for a potential company. And when you open your job search and when you let recruiters know that you're willing and open for jobs, this is one option that you have via LinkedIn. The second thing is that you're able to actually, LinkedIn has their own job board, and you're able to search remote employment for those who may be recently are formerly incarcerated. They have second chance employers. They have salary insights, so you will know right off the bat, you know, this is an organization that I want to work for, and this is also an organization that's going to ensure that I'm hired at median hourly earning or above. And you're able, and coming soon, they're also going to have direct connections to job postings. So if you opt into the LinkedIn job alerts, you can receive information about the job search, if the job's still open. You can manage how early and often you'll get the job notification and job alerts, and you're also able to pause it. So if you're in an active recruitment process and you feel like this may be my dream job and I don't want other recruiters to call me, then you're able to pause it during that time, and you're able to lift the pause at any time as well, so that you can go back and forth in that job securing process. So here are the direct steps to be found by recruiters. Number one, you're going to go to jobs. Number two, you're going to select career interests. You're going to go to your profile. You're going to add your job preferences. So that's going to be the job title, so the jobs that you want to join, the locations. You can choose whether you want all recruiters to see you or just certain industries. You can also add the information directly to your profile and select alerts. So I do want to point out that if recruiters see you, if your profile is open and available for recruiters to see you, they are more likely to respond. I have had about 7 out of 10 students tell me I've got an email from a recruiter via LinkedIn Messenger. They just are asking me for 5 minutes of my time. Now what do I do? And so we are able to set up mock interviews and kind of go through the steps of what to do when a recruiter finds you. But it is highly successful, and once you open your account to those possibilities, recruiters are definitely using this tool more often than not to fill the positions that are open. So as I mentioned, I've had a lot of students ask me, should I pay for this premium account or not? You know, what does it do? How is it different? I do suggest that unless you are really active into the account and you're going to do it for some distinct competitive features, I would say that having the student account and having a free account is sufficient enough for your job search. Generally, what I would recommend the premium account would be for someone either switching career industries, completely out of the job market from the last 10 years, or are looking to specifically target one company and one company alone. And a company like that would be like Intuit. So I'm only interested in working at Intuit. I know they're a heavy hitter in San Diego, and I just don't know how to make any headway with that organization. Then I would say maybe we could use the premium features to really laser target our focus and one individual in that organization to make a connection with. And I don't find that students are generally there in their job search. So here's a list of some things that are included in the premium account. I do want to give a disclaimer that if you are a veteran, you do have up to 1 year free. So you know, use that opportunity wisely if you do want to test out the premium account. Again, if you're kind of in the early phases of just kind of in career exploration and you're looking to find what you want to do, I would not suggest that this is really the time to activate the premium features, because you would be paying for some services that you're not quite ready to use. So here are just some different industries that are represented in LinkedIn. And so these are some great tools that I would say if you are in your career exploration phase and you're looking to use LinkedIn as a networking tool, here are some industries that you could use. This is what it would look like directly in LinkedIn. This is a screenshot directly from that. And this is a great way to find groups, individuals, or networks to be involved in. So I do want to again mention that LinkedIn does have a variety of services. LinkedIn has a LinkedIn for students. So if you go to students.linkedin.com, there is services like profile review. You're able to download your profile as a PDF and have one of our career services or the job placement coordinator review your LinkedIn profile. You're able to also do some interview prep, as well as a resume or LinkedIn review by a LinkedIn services agent as well. And then they're also going to begin to craft some technical business and entrepreneurship skills. They also have the badges and alerts, so you're able to take classes and gain skills and certifications on LinkedIn, and you're able to earn a badge. And again, that optimizes your profile as well. So last but not least, LinkedIn really is an effective tool for helping you find employers and new opportunities, as well as being found by employers. This is a perfect time in our lives to really take some time to look at what the world has to offer, what's the best fit for you long term, and really speak to some career industry insiders from those organizations that you may want to be a part of. Now is a great time to send individuals messages on LinkedIn, to update your profiles, and really get in tune with what the job market may be looking for. Thank you so much for attending. Again, my name is Sasha Knox. I'm the Job Placement Case Manager at the Transfer and Career Center at San Diego City College. These are the ways to reach me if you have any further questions, and we look forward to serving you soon.